How are you all?
Fine, sir. What about you?
Also fine. Let's start, है ना?
Okay.
ये
Yes.
फोन कर लीजिए आप लोग. चलिए चलिए. साक्षी, turn on your camera. सर आप भी. वेरी गुड. मैम यदि आप भी कंफर्टेबल हो तो आप भी कर सकती हैं.
Sir, actually, right now I am traveling, so I am comfortable enough, but I will continue with tomorrow.
No problem. No problem. So you must be also connected with someone else now, kind of teacher.
No, sir, right now I'm not connected with anyone else.
Right. Yeah. So I think we should start now. है ना?
Hmm.
What was our topic?
Restoration age, sir. Topic for today was restoration age.
What did you people read?
A bit about restoration age.
Quite fine. Any specific topic?
Specific topic.
Yes.
Um, Writers of that age, Dryden,
Tell me
George.
something about. Tell me something about historical context.
Historical context is like when Oliver Cromwell's son Richard Cromwell died. Oliver Cromwell died, and then Charles II assassinated Richard Cromwell, and then Charles, because of the people of the England, Charles II was restored to the throne, and for that reason, it is called as Restoration Age. And
Restoration of king or restoration of
the
monarchy?
monarchy, restoration of
Monarchy.
monarchy again.
Very good.
It's
I was asking what was the impact of Mr. Charles II over the England after ascending
okay.
the throne.
Okay, after ascending the throne, he was also called as Merry Monarch, and he
Mary,
was
Mary
Merry
monarch.
Monarch.
हाँ,
Yes.
Mary मतलब happiness वाला ना.
Ha ha ha. Like the Puritan age was very much constricted. They had secular regularities. So after Charles to restored, he first of all lifted the ban on the theater, the entertainment, and all the things. And he himself was so much involved in the lavish parties, and he was himself so much into entertainment that all the common people of England enjoyed that phase. And even there was some irregularities, like he spent a lot of money, but people of England, after such a long, such a,
But
such a,
but
yes,
you are speaking over the personal life of Charles II. But
okay.
asking it in the context of nation.
Entertainment was restored. Literature, which was as during interregnum period, it wasn't onto that. It wasn't written onto that front. It started like people started writing literature once again in a vast manner. And
What kind of literature they were writing?
um, re- um earlier, like sir, if we see during Chaucer time, they were just
I'm not asking
like
about
people.
Chaucer's of time.
People before restoration age write, have written about written like they were constructed to just heroic couplet and things, so it was monotonous. So during this age they
Heroic couplet is monotonous.
like there was like puritan age. If we take example of puritan age, they were just focused on the religious thing. There was so here they focused bit on realism and satire, comedy of manners. These kind of work has been produced in this age.
These were the main genres of literature, na, in restoration era. है ना? So could you tell me one thing, that what was the role of monastery in preserving literature?
Monastery, they preserve the manuscript.
Yes, they were doing so.
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
except novel codex, which was actually preserved by Robert Novel, I think. This was the name, I think. No? He was an antiquarian and historian as well. Except him, other manuscripts were handled by churches. है ना? So this is how monastery play a crucial role to preserving texts, है ना? Preserving literature. And it is not merely like this. Even you supposed to have fair idea about the dramas, that previously in English literature, dramas were simply performing in the premises of churches. So literature was simply controlled by the monasteries, churches. है ना? So religion was simply, I should say, controlling everything in the state, not just in Puritan era, but before it as well. Getting my point? Now you were telling something about satires, है ना? By the way, in English literature, where did you get the first use of satire? Or I should say the first work which simply talks about.
Can you tell me the age, sir? Age.
No, no, no. I'm asking you about English literature. Now tell me, whatever you able to recollect, answer.
Chaucer.
Chaucer was.
In Chaucer's poem. Uh,
Any example from the obra of Mr. Chaucer? You can say so, you know, because it is.
because
Tell me.
I have not studied about it, I cannot tell. But there
And
was some excerpt of satire in that thing, he, from which we can say ki it was a satirical thing.
any other person would like to answer?
So, what was the question?
Reframe the question, Sakshi.
Sir has asked to tell the example of the first satire that has been used in the English literature.
By the way, in previous class, I asked you to research about something. Did you people do that?
About ode and
Origin of ode, you. Yes,
about dictionary.
yes, as well. Because I shared about dictionary in the group, but I didn't
Yes.
think related to ode. What
Um,
history of ode in English literature? I'm 100% sure that you people must not have gone yet.
it slipped from my mind, sir. So
Sir, I
sorry.
have remembered, but on Sunday, like tomorrow, we will work on both the topics, and
Don't,
because tomorrow we will
don't,
have sufficient time.
don't do this, because we have already create our timetable, na?
Yes, sir.
है ना? So for that we supposed to bound to the topics, है ना? Even though I can switch from one to another, it's quite fine, but we supposed to sum up things within the time. If we won't do so, then we have to, lacking something in our study, because you cannot read everything within hours. It takes time.
Yes, sir, definitely.
deeply.
Hmm.
So tell me the forms of satire. Come, बताइए. सर्च नहीं करना है, ये नहीं पता सटायर कौन कौन सी होती
Sir, you are not audible.
है. Now I am audible. I was simply asking you, could you tell me the major kind of satires?
Yes, sir. There are three kinds of satire: Horatian satire, Manichaean satire, and Juvenile satire.
And what about lampoon?
So, not aware of it.
By the way, could you define the three kind of satires?
So, Horatian satire is considered as the mildest form of satire among the three.
Could
For
you
example,
could you
Alexander,
could you give me
yeah.
any example from your life?
So, from literature, I can provide
No, but
like,
you can also do so, na? Because you must be facing something in your life, na? As you are very much part and parcel of society, so you're supposed to have fair idea. As literature is also part of society. Just try to answer. You can answer easily, है ना? Because whatever is written in our copies, it's very much to our mind, and it is easy to keep in our mind. But whatever is not in our mind, we supposed to try to think of it and answer inappropriately. कोशिश करिए आप जवाब दे पाएंगे.
so since it is the mildest form, so like among our friends or family members, whenever in a funny manner we critique someone, that would fall under the category of Horatian satire.
Example, create example.
Example.
Try. You can answer. I'm 101% sure. Just try. Just try to think beyond books.
Mhm.
We have to connect things. We have to fill the dots. Suppose you are at your home, Anna, and you are get late to go to your school, and still you are in bed, and then your mother simply come to you, and they will and she will try to saying something like और सोले कोई दिक्कत नहीं अभी तो टाइम. जो उसका तात्पर्य वहाँ है उसका बस इतना सा तात्पर्य है कि अभी मत और सो खड़े हो जाओ जाओ और जिससे अगली बार आप
Yes.
गलती ना करो.
Mhm.
So this is best example of Horatian satires. है ना?
Mm.
They were actually written just for the sake of improvement in the behavior of any specific person. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
जहाँ तक मैं जानता हूँ मतलब अप्रोच ऐसी रखनी है कि उसको केवल लिटरेचर तक सीमित नहीं रखना है. कोशिश करना है
Mhm.
उसको सोसाइटी से जोड़ के देखा जाए. एंड व्हाट अबाउट मैनिपियन सटायर?
Sir, in Manichaean satire, a particular ideology is being critiqued. More specifically, hmm,
और सोसाइटी?
or society, but it is more about the ideologies, thinking of
हाँ,
society that are being
critiquing
critiqued.
society. It is critiquing
Yes.
society. Very good. And what about juvenile?
Uh, Juvenile, sir, comes somewhere in between both of these. Like it is more sort of a political satire.
What?
Like George Orwell, Animal Farms come under this category.
Any other famous example?
Political.
Any other example from literature of juvenile satire?
Sir, Gulliver's Travel will also fall under the same category.
Very good. Any other example?
Sir, right now I can just remember two.
You must be familiar with the famous pamphlet. I'm talking about a famous pamphlet in which he simply critiques the society that actually the crime was getting its shape at higher level and the government was somehow try to
Modest proposal.
A modest
yes,
proposal.
now you get the point.
Modest proposal.
है ना? जिस प्रकार से वो बयां करती है ना कि बच्चों को बूचड़ खाने में भेज दो इनको काट के खा लेना तो उससे आप लोगों का खाना भी हो जाए,
The contemporary society of Ireland, overpopulation was the issue. Okay.
है ना. So this was the best example of the kind of satire, है ना, juvenile satire. So these were the famous. And what about Lampoon? By the way, Big Boss is a famous TV show. It's based on which novel?
George Orwell. Um, this one, George Orwell's 1984.
Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother is watching you. कहता है ना उसमें ये famous line.
Yes, a kind of dystopian novel.
Yes, yes. By the way, what?
Sir, in which a pessimistic approach
Sorry,
is
sir.
followed, like all the negativities are shown.
Utopia, like it's just opposite of utopia. Utopia is like something where everything is perfect,
Idealistic.
and where everything falls apart. The place is called as dystopia, and where everything is just not in place. So that's called dystopian novel.
By the way, ma'am, who propounded the concept of dystopia?
Mm, Utopia, I know. Thomas More. Dystopia.
बताइए समीक्षक.
Not able to recall right now.
No, sir, I'm not aware of dystopia.
जॉन स्टुअर्ट मिल, है ना.
Okay.
So
Okay, John
when
Stuart Mill.
चूंकि मैं पहली बार आपसे कम्युनिकेट कर रहा हूँ, तो जब भी आप आंसर देने का प्रयास करें तो क्वेश्चन के साथ स्टिक रहें. सामने वाले को सबॉर्डिनेट इन्फॉर्मेशन ना दें. यदि आप क्वेश्चन के बियॉन्ड कोई भी इन्फॉर्मेशन देती हैं तो वहीं से सबॉर्डिनेट क्वेश्चन उठाएगा. पूर्ण प्रयास करना है कि आप लिमिटेड रहें आंसर पर. ये मेरा मानना है और ये मेरा जानना भी है, ये मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है. क्योंकि आप कुछ भी सबॉर्डिनेट देंगे तो वहाँ से वो क्वेश्चन उठा सकता है.
Mhm.
तो जितना वो पूछ रहा है उतना ही जवाब देना है, उससे ज़्यादा कभी जवाब नहीं देना. हो सकता है मैं उम्र में आपसे छोटा हूँ तो थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट करना,
No, it's completely fine, sir.
है ना. क्यों कई बार ऐसा हो जाता है, ऐसा लगता है ना लोगों को जैसे ये छोटा है तो कैसे खाएगा. नेहा,
Yes, sir.
वाई आर यू म्यूटिंग योर सेल्फ?
There actually something is going on here. So today I am not particularly here, but
नो प्रॉब्लम.
somehow I'm trying to get the things.
नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम. बाय द वे, कुड यू टेल मी द drama in restoration era? What kind of drama was being written in this era?
Yes, the drama was majorly written in this era, and because the theater were reopened, and the major genre, and particularly in drama, was the comedy of manners. Many writers were writing in this genre, and the example of it, the Way of the World, written by William Congreve. This is the example of that.
What is mannerism?
When writer show the uh, manners of the upper class people in the drama, it is known as comedy of manners in.
Somehow they try to imitate them, and in
Yes, sir.
just for the sake of ridicule them.
Yes, sir.
Getting my point? So
Exactly.
this is basically about the restoration drama. By the way, the comedy of restoration drama was influenced from which writer?
Which writer?
Yes.
So can you could you please reframe your question? I'm unable to understand it.
I was simply asking you,
Mm,
for example, in Shakespearean time, the tragedy was
mm.
directly influenced from Seneca, and it is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in the same way the comedy of this era, which era? Restoration era,
Restoration.
Yes.
influenced from which author?
Sir, I don't know particular author, but I studied that the works of this Restoration era was influenced by French uh, literature or something from classical like Aristotle and Horace.
How?
So I
How?
uh, um,
Why are you saying so? That they were influenced from Aristotle or Horace,
so because the Restoration come under the neoclassical age as well.
but they were not imitating. How?
Maybe they were not, but I studied something like they were influenced by Aristotle and Horace, so that's why I told. But
By the way, where get information of it that the dramas of the age was simply influenced from French culture or French literature. In
Sir, I think
sir,
Charles II had spent some of his time in France. So maybe that was the reason why the drama got influenced from French drama
yes, sir, that's
during
what I said.
Restoration time period.
but there must be some documents now where we get to know that drama of the age is somehow influenced from French culture, French literature. Any document, any famous work from the historian era?
Yes, sir, there are some writers. I am forgetting the name, but there are two writers who influenced the Restoration, like um,
By the
author were
way,
influenced from them.
any famous work from the author of Mr. John Dryden, JD?
Yes, sir, All for Love
It was a
and
drama, was drama. Any other?
Meg Fleckno. It is
Any
a
other?
satirical work.
Any others?
And Absalom and Achitophel.
Have
I,
you have you ever heard of dramatic poesy?
yes, sir, this is the
Essay on
famous work of
dramatic
him.
poetry.
In
Yes,
essay on dramatic poesy, there you will get
yes.
about the French influence. As uh,
Okay,
Dryden himself, was a character in that by other name
Neander.
Neander. So
Meander.
Yes,
in that he simply tried to defend the English culture, English literature.
yes, sir, English
Uh,
drama.
and
Yes,
in the same work, he also tried to tell us like this. Uh, Samiksha, ma'am, you must be familiar with the three unities of Aristotle.
Yes, sir, unity of time, place, and action.
Very good. Did you ever read all these three unities in the works of Mr. Aristotle?
Sir, in Aristotle's Poetics, he has talked about the three unities. And as far
Are
as
you
I
sure?
know,
Are you sure?
yes, sir.
No. Just go and check. When we sum up our class, then try to check it.
Okay. Okay.
Because it wasn't there. He only talks about one and a half unity in the book. Rest, the unities were simply created by the critics, especially belong to French culture, French literature. You know? And the information is simply discussed in essay on dramatic poesy by Mr. JD. This is a matter of concern. Even every teacher, whosoever is teaching in any school or in college, they are teaching in the same way that the thing you are answering now, I also used to answer in the same way.
Okay.
It happens because
Mhm.
unity of, I think, unity of, just check it. Actually, I'm a little bit confused in that, because एक यूनिटी दे रखी है उन्होंने, यूनिटी ऑफ प्लेस दिया है शायद, है ना, और शायद टाइम दिया है। एक्शन का कोई ऐसा सर्टेन नहीं है जिसको बनाया है क्रिटिक्स ने। मतलब एक का तो स्पेसिफिकली उन्हें दे रखा है, और जो दूसरी यूनिटी है उसके बारे में संकेत करने का प्रयास किया, उसका डायरेक्ट नाम भी लिया, और जो तीसरी यूनिटी है उसको क्रिटिक्स नहीं बना। समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ? जब आप डीप
Mhm.
जब सही से सर्च करोगे, अगर आप गूगल पर सर्च करोगे तो तुरंत लिख के आएगा कि अरिस्टोटल ने दिया, लेकिन आप अच्छे से सर्च करोगे तो आपको समझ आएगा कि ये मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो तथ्य है। गेटिंग?
Yes, sir.
So where were we? कहाँ थे हम?
Influence of French drama and Restoration period.
Yes, Molayer and Rasayan. They were the two famous authors who influenced the age of the Restoration. They belong to French, France, है ना? French language. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
By the way, what were
Yes,
the
sir.
major characteristics of French dramas that influenced our dramas? Just tell me what were the characteristics are on drama, Restoration dramas. Any feature that you're able to recall now? Unfortunately, I unable to read today.
So in Restoration age, dramas were like, first of all, women were allowed to perform on the stage. This was the age where women first perform on the stage, and the theme of dramas, like they were uh, openly talking about the vulgar things and also written about it. Because of that,
Jeremy
yeah, the
Collier.
Jeremy Collier
Hmm.
wrote the work, the profaneness or profaneness and immorality of stage something. I'm forgetting the title, and he stung the William Wycherley and I think Congreve as well. When we this kind of work were written in that time.
Actually, drama was somehow ruined in French culture. They were not caring about the society, as society was so much tired of keeping moral values, keeping religious scriptures with them. You know? They were tired of all. And for that, they wanted monarchy once again. When king himself restored, then what happened with them? He simply tried to take up everything that was there in the France, you know, the dramas of the age. You know? So what happened is like, for the first time, he introduced I think dramatist introduced a female on stage for the first time. You know? And along with that, there were many techniques. You know? Ladies are using some sort of famous, I should say, you know, what we call the dresses, attires. Yeah,
Costumes.
costumes.
Costume attires.
Costumes. You know? And we can see the famous use of dual entendre I told you in previous class. है ना? Do you know, मैम जानती हैं dual entendre क्या होता है?
No, sir.
Dual entendre is something when a line is giving more than one meaning, especially one vulgar meaning.
Mm-hmm.
है ना? And rest, you can see the cuckoldry is also a famous theme in restoration drama, है ना? Where somehow women are keeping more than one relation. है ना? So this kind of drama was being written in that time, and even uh, critiquing the society as well. The way they are somehow try to look at someone, someone is try to having some sort of relation with others by this was the kind of genre of drama in that era. Rest we have also familiar about the satires. Satire was never a good kind of literature actually. You know, previously, as we simply call the Elizabethan drama as the golden age, and as we were simply the authors simply focusing on creating some sort of artistic work. But if we talk about in the restoration era, what we are doing, we are simply writing profaneness, about the life of human beings. Although it is very much clear that it must be there in the society, as literature is the mirror of society, so they must be copying the same. है ना? By the way, it was told by Mr. William Makepeace Thackeray, who has written a famous work that is Vanity Fair. In that work, he was heavily critiqued by the people as he was simply portraying a, a women character as very vulgar, not having some sort of, I should say, moral values. So for that, he was highly critiqued by the society critics. So he simply gave answer over it like whatever I see with my eyes, I try to write. This is what the reality of. है ना. In the same way, the authors of Restoration era was also doing the same. है ना. This was the kind of drama, and they were not creating any literature at all. They were just enjoying the literature. They were simply fighting with each other, one another. है ना. The fight can be seen in many satirical works. है ना. For example, Mac Fleckno. है ना. By the way, you must be familiar with the famous line, "Shut the door, fatigued jaw." It was taken from which work of JD? Epistle to Arbuthnot. Getting?
Yes, sir.
मैं भटक रहा हूँ, मेरे को थोड़ा सा लिमिट में रखो, मैं इधर उधर जा रहा हूँ. बोलिए, आप लोग क्वाइट मत रहिए.
Yes, sir, understood.
ही सपोज टू इंटरेक्टिव. नहीं तो फिर ऐसे कैसे चलेगा. बोलिए बोलिए. हाँ, कहाँ थे हम.
Dramas we were discussing
हाँ, है ना. तो
of restoration.
नाउ वी हैव फेयर आइडिया, है ना, किस प्रकार की मतलब मैनरिज्म था, कॉपीज करने में लग रहे थे, जो हायर सोसाइटी को उनको ठीक कर रहे थे एक दूसरे को. ठीक है. साथ ही साथ में क्या था, रिपार्टी हुआ, है ना, हाजिर जवाबी जो थी देखी जा सकती थी, है ना. और साथ ही साथ में मैंने आपको बताया
Heroic tragedy. There was a bent of heroism in the work of that age.
what is that name, the work's name, which was written in heroic drama. All for Love.
All for Love.
And it was taken from which work of Mr. William Shakespeare?
Antony and Cleopatra.
Antony and Cleopatra.
From which act?
Final act.
Fifth act.
Mhm.
Fifth act. है ना.
So coffee house culture was also prevalent during Restoration time
You
period.
are quite right. By the way, any example of any coffee house from the contemporary era? Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, sir, didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
I also forgot the same. What I was asked.
We were talking about coffee house culture.
Coffee house culture, and you have said to give an example.
Give me example of any coffee house that was famous in
Like,
contemporary era.
like sir, in work,
Sorry.
in contemporary era, like in Restoration time period, you are
Yes, yes,
asking.
yes, 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 ma'am.
Sir, I just remember like name of few places where people used to gather together and they used to discuss the events, and based on that, works were written.
Any example?
Sir, Will Coffee House was there.
Yes, ma'am.
About this, I have read.
It was somehow associated to Mr. J.D. John Dryden.
Yes, John Dryden.
Huh? By the way,
Yes.
who quoted this famous line, or I should say, who wrote this line? For tea, a drink,
What, sir?
a drink from China. A famous line, a drink from China, was written by whom?
No idea.
Alexander Pope.
Okay.
And by the way, what
Mhm.
was the need of having coffee houses?
So basically, they were meant for having normal, regular discussions in which people from different classes could just sit together and share their views.
Hmm. And this is how literature evolved with the time. And afterwards, we see the templates. Afterward, we see the magazines, newspapers. You know, they all were the product of this kind of gathering.
Hmm.
You know, spectators, Tatler, idol.
Tadler. Yes, Rambler.
Yes, they all were the product of these kind of gatherings.
Hmm.
Getting the point?
Yes.
आप लोग बोल क्यों नहीं रहे हो, साइलेंट क्यों हो भाई.
We are listening, sir.
No,
It's informative.
do not listen. because you supposed to answer in interview, and for that you supposed to practice as well. Getting my point? It is fine for me to speak everything to convey myself, quite fine, because somehow my mind is functioning. But if you will only listen, your brain does not function nicely. You know? Because we cannot convey
Oh,
100%. Any other thing that you people read? बताइए. मैं स्वयं पूछूं? नहीं बताएंगे तो.
yes, sir, you please ask.
What was the religion of Mr. John Dryden? Why Dr. Samuel Johnson called him Bin Pande ka lota?
Sir,
Um,
this can be answered by Dr. Samuel Johnson.
This
because
this
uh,
this can be answered easily.
Yes, sir.
yes,
But
bin pende ka lota.
So
Because
because he,
okay,
okay, Sakshi, continue.
please, ma'am.
So because John Dryden wrote Astrea Redux, which is also called as Restoration, Justice Restored, when Charles II was restored as monarch of England, and on death of the Oliver Cromwell, as far as I remember, he also wrote one poem. So he was in support of both Commonwealth as well as monarchy. So this was the probable reason.
it can be. But there is one another reason as well.
Okay.
Tell me the other reason.
Sir, I know this reason only,
Because
that he was in support of both the things,
he
like in
he
monarchy, he was supporting in Commonwealth as well.
he was constantly sweeping his areas. You know? He was sweeping all around religions. He was sweeping all around parties. First, he was supporting Catholicism. Then he started supporting Protestantism. After that, he was supporting the other religion. This is how he was switching all the three religions as per the needs. And this is the same with power.
Okay,
You know? He was supporting Protestants. You know? He was also supporting,
Presbyterians also.
yes, and he was also supporting Charles first and then second. This is how he was. मतलब कहने का तात्पर्य बस इतना सा है कि समय के साथ जहां उसको जैसी जरूरत लगी वो बदलता गया. ऐसा नहीं था कि यदि वो एक के साथ खड़ा है तो एक ही के साथ खड़ा रहे. इसलिए डॉक्टर सैमुअल जॉनसन ने उसको बिन पेंदे का लोटा कह दिया. आई अनेबल टू कोट द एग्जैक्ट वर्ड फ्रॉम हिज डायरी.
It was like he. Okay, we will. I'll study about it. The exact code.
है ना? Yes. So now tell me, by the way, dramatic poesy was written on which major event? What is the backdrop of dramatic poesy? बताइए.
Sir, I think in dramatic poesy, uh, it describes about the war between England and Dutch. It's
War of Dutch fleet. Second war.
yes, sir.
है ना? Because few
Yes,
years
sir.
before one another happened. है ना? This was twice. Second time. So
So
this is background of
basically,
dramatic
it
poetry.
was focused on yeah, basically it was focused on the war, Dutch war, war between England and Dutch.
Any other famous author from the Restoration era?
William Congreve.
Congreve.
John Wycliffe was also there, I think.
Wycherley.
George Etheridge, or
Etheridge.
Wycliffe. Yes, yes. George Etheridge.
Wycliffe.
They all were working over the theme of cuckoldry, majorly. Do you know what is cuckoldry?
Yes, sir. A woman
Mm.
cheating on her husband.
Yes, quite right. This was the major theme. So, I already told you about everything that's related to the dramas. Any other genre of literature? What about prose? What about prose?
So diary
So,
writing began during this period,
Yes,
particularly
yes.
Samuel Pepys was
Samuel
the
Pepys
major diary
Evelyn.
writer
Yes.
who wrote about the Great Plague and Fire of London, which happened around 1666.
the fire were sorry, the fire was as high as it was kissing the sky, something like that. Quote from the diary of Mr. Samuel Pepys. And by the way, he also talked about the uh, performance of 12th night. He was like it was neither related to any soldiers nor any specific event or day. Talked
I
about
think he talked about that also. Midsummer Night Dream
he al-
also. He said, "Okay, I will not see such kind of drama ever like that."
by the way, could you tell me about the history of diary? Any famous work that you're able to recollect before Mr. Pepys? Diary of a Young Girl, written by who?
And Frank.
And Frank,
And it was published in which year, in which language?
sir, I think in
It was there in your syllabus
that,
that you are teaching in school.
yes, sir, it
It,
was there.
And in which language it was originally published?
um, German.
Dutch.
Yes, quite right. It was originally published in that, and it was the first piece of diary published in any literature, in any language. You know? By the way, any other person who was also famous for writing diary in the same era?
Evelyn. A name called Evelyn. John Evelyn, I think.
John Evelyn.
John.
Any other author? Any other diarist? They were around 4 to 5. What about Margaret Cavendish? Do you know who was Margaret Cavendish? She wrote a famous work, Blazing World. It was a kind of science fiction, kind of precursor in the genre. And by the way, she also attended the first meeting of Royal Society of London. By the way, a Royal Society of London established in which year?
1642.
Are you sure? Or 1663?
As far as I remember, sir, it's 1642.
No, you are quite wrong. It was around 6062 to 6063. Do you know
Okay, sir.
who was Robert Ball?
No, sir.
Robert Boyle, along with Margaret Cavendish, one other famous person was there. They all together conducted the first meeting of Royal Society of London. These were the most famous points that we should keep in our mind from this era. रिसेप्टिव होइए, ऐसे मत बैठिए, मैं मशीन नहीं हूँ। वर्बल नोट दीजिए।
Sir, earlier we have discussed about the Afra Whale. Was She was also the part of this age. I'm asking from you.
Oronuku talks about racism.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
बताइए, मैं जो भी बोल रहा हूँ ना, हर जॉनरा की हिस्ट्री आपको पता होना चाहिए। अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ
And it is also considered. It is also considered as a earlier novel, I think.
ओरोनुकु, ओरोनुकु,
We can say early novel, not earlier or earliest. Early novel.
कर्सर
Means
ऑफ लव, precursor of love।
yeah, precursor of yes.
आप लोग मुझे पटरी से हटा देते हो, मैं यही भूल गया क्या पूछ रहा था। यही तो होता है, इसलिए तो
So we were discussing about Royal Society.
ऑफ लंदन है ना, वी सब
Hmm.
हैव आइडिया है ना अबाउट रॉयल सोसाइटी ऑफ लंदन। पूछे
Okay.
किस ईयर में स्टैब्लिश हुई। बाय द वे, एंड डू यू नो हु वाज जोशुआ रेनॉल्ड्स?
Yes, I heard of it.
डू यू हैव एनी
Cultural studies.
जोशुआ रेनॉल्ड्स?
Yes.
कल्चरल स्टडी में पढ़ा है, बहुत बढ़िया।
Yes, I.
मे भी समीक्षा मैम, आपने भी कल्चरल स्टडी में जोशुआ रेनॉल्ड्स को पढ़ा है क्या?
No, sir. As far as I could remember, he was a painter or something like that, but I'm not sure.
यू आर श्योर? बाय द वे, you must be familiar about the play. What was the major reason behind the recurring arrival of plague in the society of London or in the city of London? Tell me in few words.
Sir, are you asking major reasons?
Yes, I'm asking about major reason.
I think first maybe industrialization uh, and I think use of multiple types of chemicals.
ये गाना कहाँ चल रहा है सर?
Sir Joshua Reynolds is in cultural studies as he has formulated that grand style, and for that reason, he is studied in cultural studies also.
Which grand style?
In terms of, as I can check in Google, it's written in cultural studies, Joshua Reynolds is significant as the pivotal figure who elevated British art by establishing the grand style, blending classical ideals with contemporary portraiture, and through his discourse on art. So it is also studied in cultural studies too.
Sakshi, can you please share the timeline, like date of birth? Because maybe there can be two person with the same name.
I have no.
Like his date of
I
birth. Yes, because I have studied him
I
as a painter
surrender.
only.
I surrender. I never heard of it. Do share in the group, है ना? Might be possible. You are right. है ना? हो सकता है, हमें नहीं पता हो, आपने पढ़ा हो कुछ। बट कल्चरल स्टडीज का ऐसा है कि शेक्सपियर को यदि पकड़ के देखो तो वहां से भी आप कल्चरल स्टडी कर सकते हो। वो डिपेंड करता है कि आप किस लेंस से किस ऑथर को देख रहे
हाँ हाँ, वही वही ऑथर ही होंगे, बट उसमें कल्चरल स्टडीज में भी पढ़ा है मैंने, मैं इतना बता रही हूँ।
हो सकता है,
Mhm.
संभावना है। क्या पूछ रहा था मैं?
Reason for plague, that
यस,
why it was
टेल मी।
reoccurring.
यस, सर टोल्ड मी समथिंग, नाउ यू टेल मी, है ना?
Sir, rat was the probably the cause of spreading the plague in London, and it happened due to some bacteria. I don't remember the name of the bacteria. And apart from that, yes, industrialization was another reason because of which it was reoccurring.
You are somehow close to the answer. Industrial.
Sir, I would like to yes, I would like to add some more points with this question from you. consequences. Slums and lack of sanitation was also a major reason of
You
the spreading of the.
you go through the
I just connected with the industrialization because of the industrialization one of the class of the society get poor and they burden to live in the slum areas. So that's also a sub region of the industrialization. I just connected. I have also read in history.
this was the major reason, है ना? As London was developed, है ना?
Hmm.
There were the high chances of some sort of work, है ना? By the help of that, people can generate revenue, generate money, and all because of it. People simply hovering towards the London, है ना? And if there are many people, if we talk about our Delhi, है ना? You can see the number of people are living in Delhi. The area is very much, I should say, shrinked, है ना? And
It's compact.
people are living like ants in ant hills, and all because of it they were not getting any fairly sanitation, you know, and not getting some sort of good things related to their eatings, you know, and all because of it. Then you can also consider rats and bacteria behind the cause of arrival of black death, that we also call plague. By the way, it was not for the first time hitting England.
Yes, it was for the third time
No,
that London got inflicted
I think
from
I
plague.
I think fourth or fifth.
Majorly third time. Like first was during Geoffrey Chaucer, second time Shakespeare, and third was in this Restoration Age.
In Geoffrey Chaucer's time, it recurring not just for first or second time, but thrice. It is, I think,
Okay, it happened for the third time.
it
Okay.
must be fourth or fifth. You know, I think, in my opinion. You know? So this was the major reason behind the arrival of plague in the city of England, London. You know? So London was actually center for everything, center for literature, center for empowerment, employment, everything. Getting my point? Now I
Sir,
yes, sir.
I would like to resolve my one query that how plague affected the literature and if the interviewer would ask us about the relation between the plague and literature, so how we can relate the both the points.
Did you ever noticed any glimpses any in any literary piece from the contemporary era?
Yes, sir. In John Dryden work only we can see.
In which
Annus Mirabilis, he wrote The Year of Miracle for 1666.
yes, and in that work he talks about the
The Great Fire of London.
and War of Dutch Fleet. He talks
Yes, sir.
about all the three major events.
Yes, sir.
You know? So you were asking something about the reason.
No, sir. I'm just asking about the effect, how it affected the literature. How what were the you can say result or
हिंदी में बोलो
result
हिंदी
of
में
the plague in literature.
हिंदी में बोलो
सर मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि प्लेग से लिटरेचर कैसे प्रभावित हुआ या फिर क्या क्या उसमें चेंजेस आए और क्या क्या उसमें मतलब रिफ्लेक्शन क्या क्या हुआ.
यूरोप की यूरोप की 1/3 आबादी साफ हो गई थी प्लेग से. समझ रहे हो? जब इतनी आबादी कोलैप्स होगी, जब इतने लोग मरेंगे, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि ये सिंपल होगा किसी प्रकार का कोई लिटरेचर लिखना? अगर किसी ने लिखा भी होगा तो मैम ने जो भी मेजर एग्जांपल दिया है उसके अलावा मेरे को भी कहीं कुछ ऐसा याद नहीं जो लिखा गया हो. यदि उसकी टेस्टमनी दोगे तो दोगे कैसे? यहाँ अपनी खुद की रैशनल को इस्तेमाल करके यही बोला जा सकता है कि ऐसी परिस्थिति बन सकती है. है ना, कि जब लोग खुश नहीं हैं, परेशान हैं, है ना, जीने के लाले पड़े हुए हैं, ये नहीं पता कल है या नहीं है, हो सकता है आज ही मर गए। इवन जब प्लेग फैला था तो स्वयं एलिजाबेथ फर्स्ट, एक फेमस कासल है विंडसर, विंडसर कासल, जिसके ऊपर फेमस वर्क लिखा है एपी ने, अलेक्जेंडर पोप ने, विंडसर कासल के नाम से, विंडसर फॉरेस्ट नॉट कासल, है ना। तो बचने के लिए जो रानी थी वो स्वयं इतना दूर चली गई थी, बाकी जो लोग वहाँ पहले से थे उन सबको मरवा दिया था, तो किसी की एंट्री नहीं थी। तो ऐसी तो स्थिति थी। अब ऐसे में इंसान लिटरेचर कैसे लिखेगा, या उसको ये नहीं पता मेरा कल है या नहीं है, तो ऐसे में लिटरेचर कैसे लिखेगा। ऐसा तो है नहीं,
ओके सर, ओके,
ऐसा तो
अंडरस्टूड।
है नहीं कि इस आपदा को मानव कंट्रोल कर रहा हो। जैसे वर्ल्ड वार हुआ उसको मानव कंट्रोल कर रहा है, जब ह्यूमन कंट्रोल कर रहा है तो ह्यूमन फिर उसके लिए कुछ भी कर सकता है, जिम्मेदारी ले सकता है। तब वहाँ WH ऑर्डन जैसे लोग कैफे हाउस में बैठ के पोइट्री लिखेंगे। 1939 पढ़ी है।
सर
यस सर।
तो सर जैसे प्लेग हुआ तो प्लेग को क्रिटिसाइज करने के लिए, जैसे ये तो एक प्रकार से ह्यूमन मेड कह सकते हैं, जैसे अभी कोरोना भी हुआ था तो इट वाज नॉट वेरी मच नेचुरल, इट वाज द मैन मेड, वी कैन से। So plague was also one of the production of the human, you can say human
ह्यूमन
deeds,
फॉलीज।
because yes, yes, human policies, or you can say human deeds, because industrialization was just the consuming of the natural resources, and very much you can say that the bad policies of the consuming the natural policies. So the authors criticize this
कौन से
in
author
their literature.
या
मैं वही जानना चाह रहा हूँ सर कि कोई ऐसे ऑथर्स है जिन्होंने।
मैंने पढ़ा नहीं है ना, मैं कैसे बताऊं। यही तो बोल रहा हूँ, अपना
ओके,
रैशनल
ओके।
इस्तेमाल करो। जब
हम्म।
सन में शांति नहीं है, उसको ये नहीं पता मेरा कल है या नहीं है, ऐसे में लिटरेचर प्रोड्यूस करना अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात होती है। जेडी ने इसका टेस्ट मनी दिया है, वो भी बाद में दिया है, पहले नहीं दिया। और मेरे
ओके सर।
को कोई ऐसा फेमस वर्क भी नहीं पता, किसी और अन्य व्यक्ति को पता हो तो वो शेयर कर सकते हैं। मैम आप बताना चाहेंगी कुछ।
No, sir. I just remember one work by Dryden. Apart from that, I don't remember any other work which is completely dedicated for plague.
साक्षी wanna
ओके
say
सर,
something?
अंडरस्टूड सर, प्लीज गो फॉर।
साक्षी, she is not there, I think we should sum up today's class।
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
आपको